So regarding community buy-in, this process has been very biased. People are significantly less likely to come forward and say negative things or express doubts about people they think may eventually become their bosses. That's just a fact. So public speaking has been heavily slanted to favorable support. Aggressive lobbying has created an overall negative environment. I've heard from several people that they felt coerced into submitting letters of recommendation on behalf of Dr. Barton, and that they felt fearful of the consequences if they refused to do so when he was later hired. These are actually people who have contacted me to express this, some of them very emotionally, some of them very tearfully. Some individuals advocating on behalf of Dr. Barton did so in a negative manner, and instead of promoting their preferred candidate, they began insulting individuals who did not support Dr. Barton and began speaking negatively about other candidates being supported. I do not question Dr. Barton's integrity. I don't think he's directly responsible for the negative lobbying. I feel like maybe some of his supporters just those are their strategies. I also don't feel that he feels like he's indebted to every single person who recommended him. But I do feel that it speaks to the type of negative loyalty his leadership inspires. And this is not something that I approve of. I have zero interest in this organization being an acceptable place to bring people up by pushing others down. I also doubt any internal candidate's ability to change this culture, since the current superintendent has been unable to do so for the last 5 years. For many people who are loudly supporting Dr. Barton, there are just as many people quietly contacting board members to tell us that this culture will continue if we do not pick an outside candidate. I just want to build off of some comments that my fellow trustees have made. So regarding the culture and the problem that this district has as a culture, and pointing the finger at this board, I couldn't agree more. Not for the reasons that you're saying, but because the things that come out of our mouths actually matter. People pay attention to those. So when you say something like, the people who don't show up to say negative things, they should have done that, I think that actually speaks something about culture too. On whether or not you think the people who are not in this room have an equal voice to the people who are in this room. And I think it's a little disheartening to think that people shouldn't be able to confide in you, that they are fearful or that they are uncomfortable doing something, and then you just dismiss them entirely. I don't think that's good for culture either.